Hey y'all, what's up? It's Amanda and I am finally back with another video. Happy New Year, it's 2025. I took a break from YouTube just to enjoy the holidays and also because I was kind of getting stressed with like school and work and everything like that. But we are back. I can't say how regularly I'll be posting, if I'll be posting every Sunday or something like that. Who knows? But I wanted to get this video up because this video is going to be my 2025 reading goals as well as my priority TBR for the new year. So without further ado, let's just get right on into it. So I have my notebook here. It's a really cute little notebook. It has like flowers on it. Anyways, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 reading goals, and some of them are just like lifestyle kind of goals, but most of them are related to reading. So let's just get right on into the goals for this year. First goal that I have set for the new year is my reading challenge goal. So last year I read, I want to say I read 130 books, 134 maybe, and I have never read that many books in my life, like in a year before. That was the most I've ever read in one year. But this year I want to kind of slow down with my reading. So my reading goal this year is to read 52 books. Now that's about 1 book a week. And with the pace that I'm at, I think I can definitely manage that. But once school starts again, I don't know what my reading is going to look like because this semester could be different than my first semester. I don't know. It could be more intense than what I'm expecting, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. So that's why I set my reading goal to be lower. Additionally, this kind of ties into my second reading goal, which is to read more intentionally. So by that I mean, like, don't just speed through a book to have that book marked off as read. Like, read books that you're actually interested in and read them almost like slower in a sense. Read them at a pace where you'll actually like understand the themes and stuff like that, because I feel like this past year I definitely was just kind of speeding through books to get to a certain number at the end of the year. And I feel like that is not the best way to go about reading. Like, reading is all about reading between the lines, inferring what the author is saying, whether it's blatantly outright being said or whether it's being hinted at, you know, but picking up on the themes in books, stuff like that. And I feel like I don't do that very well. This also ties in with like my reviews that I do. I feel like my reviews are kind of lackluster. So I want to get a little better at reading and writing reviews. Next, I have a bookish spreadsheet that I'm working on right now that I started at the end of last year. And it's basically just cataloging all of my books, all of my own books that I have. I want to have them in this spreadsheet so that I can track how many books I've read and how many books I have unread. So it is incomplete at this moment. So this goal is to finish my spreadsheet. I don't want it to be like a book tracker in terms of like how Goodreads tracks my reading. I want to know how many books I have in my house and how many books I have unread and how many books are read. I don't want that to be some amorphous number that's looming over my head. Like, I just want to be in the know. So that's my next goal. The one after this kind of ties in with that, but I want to buy less books this year. I am gonna go on somewhat of a reading. I want to go on somewhat of a book no buy this year because I tried to last year and it lasted like 2 months before I ended up quitting and like not fulfilling the goal that I had set for myself. So I'm gonna try to do it again this year. I've already kind of failed with January because I bought 2 books. It was my boyfriend. But other than that, I haven't bought books since then. So I'm thinking that, like, 2 books is fine. I've already read 2 books off of my TBR. Yes. I've already read 2 books off of my TBR, my physical TBR that I own this year. So it's like it cancels each other out. You know what I mean? So I'm trying not to buy more books than that. Keep it to a minimum. Like, if I want to buy a book, like 1 book here and there, that's fine. But I'm trying not to overspend this year. This is the year of saving money. That's my goal. The next one is kind of a lofty goal. Depending on my book spreadsheet, this goal might change, but I want to get my TBR to under 200 books. I don't know what the number is of unread books on my physical TBR, but if it's like 230, then yeah, I can totally get to under 200. If it's like 260, then I want to get to under 225. Like, I'll adjust it accordingly. But we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that every month. I'll try to, at least, to see where we're at. And the last goal that I have is just to read 12 nonfiction books. So last year, my nonfiction reading goal was to read 20% nonfiction. So, like, out of, let's say, 100 books that I read, I wanted 20 books to be nonfiction. I failed at that miserably, like, very poorly. I read 10% nonfiction, so I halved it. It was horrible. So I am trying to do 1 nonfiction a month with 12. We'll see how that works out. I hope that I can accomplish it. I have faith in myself, but again, we'll see. So these are my reading goals for the year. Now, let's get on to the fun part, which is the priority TBR. I have 10 books on this list for you guys, and it's a mix of genres, and I'm really excited to get into it. It's very cold. I have these in no particular order, but I'm just going to go with stack number 1. So this book has been on my TBR for probably 3 years at this point. This is A Touch of Malice by Scarlett St. Clair. Let's see when this came out, because if it's more than 3 years, yep. This book came out in 2021. I've had it on my TBR since 2022. It is now 2025, so it's been 3 years. And I've had a bookmark in it for the longest time. Have I even read a page of it? No. So this is book number 3 in the Hades and Persephone, like, romance that Scarlett St. Clair is, like, writing. I know that the last book that I read, the second one, which is, like, I can't remember what the second book is called, but I remember it left off on, like, a cliffhanger, and now I want to continue. Like, obviously, I want to continue the series. I want to finish it. I'm thinking that I can finish it, but if I even just make progress in it, I meant to make progress in it last year, this sat unread on my shelf. So we're trying to make amends. Yes. The next book that I have is a very popular book, and I'm very excited to get into it. This is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. This is book 1 of the Neapolitan novels, whatever. This is an Italian author, and I don't know much about this story. I just know that it's kind of about, like, a female friendship, and they grow up together, and that's kind of like the way that this series goes. Like, you're growing up with these characters. So I'm very excited to get into it. It was the New York Times #1 book of the 21st century. So I feel like I'm missing out on something if I don't get to this one. Next is a book that I've had on my TBR for so long, and I really just should pick it up and read it, like, immediately, because I don't understand why I haven't. Okay. I thought the spine was cracked. Anyways, this is Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. This is a horror novel. And I don't know much about it. I just know that it's along the lines of Rouge, but better. And I loved Rouge, so I'm like, how could this one be better? If Rouge was like a 4.5, how is this one better? So I'm very interested to read this one. It's been on my TBR for like 2 years at this point, because I believe it came out in 2023. Yeah, this came out in 2023, so it's been on my TBR ever since it came out. Oh boy, so many books, so many books. The next one that I have is a book that I actually got for Christmas, but I want to read it as soon as possible just because I love the first book in the series. This book is Somewhere Beyond the Sea, the sequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. So I originally thought this was like the prequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea, but this is actually the sequel, so I have no idea what this one is about, but I'm entirely excited to be reading this one, and it has like yellow sprayed edges. Isn't that cool? Anyways, since this is a sequel, I'm not going to give you any kind of synopsis because even I don't know what it's about. I'm just very excited to read it. Very, very excited. The next book I have is our first nonfiction. This is Loud, Accepting Nothing Less Than the Life You Deserve by Drew F. Wallow. I love Drew F. Wallow. I follow her on Instagram, and she is just like such an amazing like influencer. And she wrote this book. So it's a nonfiction kind of about her life, but also it's kind of like a manifesto, kind of self-help, but not really self-help. I don't know. It's like a lot of things. And I've been seeing tons and tons of people giving it 5 stars. So I'm just so excited to get into this one. This is one of the nonfiction that I definitely want to pick up in 2025. Next, I have Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I read that one for Summerween, I believe, and I absolutely loved it. It was such an interesting horror novel, and I'm excited to see what the sequel is like. I've heard people say that if you like the first one, the second one is a bit jarring to get into because it's written a bit differently. So that makes me nervous a little bit, but I am still excited nonetheless. So that's this one. Next, I want to read The Age of Magical Overthinking, Notes on Modern Irrationality by Amanda Montell. I've heard mixed things about this one. I've heard people say that it's amazing. I've heard people say that it's not actually about the age of overthinking, magical overthinking. But nevertheless, I'm still excited to get into this one. I think the concept is very interesting. The cover is beautiful. And I just really, I'm trying to get more into nonfiction. Okay, so this is one of the ones. This is one of the ones. Next, I have Adrift in Currents, Clean and Clear by Shauna McGuire. This is the newest installment in the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire. This is book number like 10 or something. Or maybe it's 11. I don't know. There's just so many books in this series. But like I said, it's the newest one, and I'm just so excited to do my yearly read of the newest Wayward Children's book. This one is about our girl Nadia. I don't know much else going into this, and I just want to leave it at that. Okay? Second to last, I have Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. This was 50% off at Barnes & Noble, so I got it, and it has red sprayed edges, which is pretty cool. But this one is going to be my first Paul Tremblay that I read. I've never read a Paul Tremblay before. And this one has such an interesting premise. So I'm very excited. Look at this. Horror movie. And then the end pages look like this. Like notes on a script. So I think it's going to be such a unique experience. I've heard amazing things about this one. And it's about like a cursed film. I read a book about a cursed film by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. That one was Silver Nitrate. That one was really good. It was a 4-star for me. But I'm hoping that this one delivers more of what I'm looking for. So that's that one. And lastly, our biggest book on this TBR. It is Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. I'm currently reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas, which is in the Throne of Glass series, and this is the next one. I am very severely intimidated by this one because I think I'm going to do the tandem read, and I didn't put the other book on this TBR, Tower of the Dawn or something like that. Tower of Dawn. I don't know. But I didn't put the other one just in case I don't decide to do the tandem read. I'm only committing to this one, okay? If I do the tandem read, that's fine. But like, this is the next one in the series, so I'm only committing to this one. This is number like 5 in the series or something like that. 6? I don't know. But I'm loving it, and I can't wait to get into this one. All right, y'all, here is my crazy stack of books that I want to read by the end of 2025. I'm going to put this down now. Let me know if you've read any of these books that are on my list, and also comment down below any books that you're prioritizing this year in 2025. I'm very interested to know because I always love adding more books to my TBR, but I also want to see if we have anything in common. Like, are there any other books that you have on your TBR that I want to read? Like, I don't know. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for watching. As per usual, I have my social medias linked in the description down below. As of today, TikTok is like banned in the United States, so I only have Instagram, Threads, the Storygraph, and Goodreads. So follow me or friend me on any of those. And if you got to the end of this video and you don't know what to say, comment the turtle emoji for this one. This little guy right here. The turtle emoji. I don't know. Tortoise. Girl, I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.